One of the biggest problems that most students have is that there is too much content to read in too little time. Being able to read fast is like a superpower. Back in school, I only used to be able to read around 10 pages an hour, but since then I've now leveled up to at least 5 chapters in that same time, or around 40 pages in a standard textbook. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can spend less time reading when you study and at least double your reading speed. Never read inside your head. Don't say the words in your head as you read along. It's called self-vocalization, and it's basically when you try and say what you're reading in your mind. Having this voice going on in your head is the one thing that slows people so much. Because sounding out the words like that in your head naturally means that you can only read as fast as you speak. And the average human can only speak around 200 to 250 words a minute, which isn't a lot. But your eyes and brain have the ability to pick up words much faster. So instead, let your eyes simply scan the words as you glide over the text. It'll start off being weird because you're just skimming through the text without understanding it fully. But if you practice it on the day-to-day, in 2 weeks' time, it'll become like secondhand nature. You'll be able to reduce the self-vocalization without even realizing it, and your brain will get used to processing information at that high speed. Only read from the middle of the page. Okay, this is a bit weird, but stare directly into my eyes. Now, can you see my both fingers moving at the edge of your screen? Yes? Well, that is your peripheral vision. And the only reason I can also see them there as well is because I have it too. This is central, that is peripheral. Normally, people only use their main central vision and start reading a book from the first word of the line till the end, and they repeat left to right, left to right. But this is inefficient because you aren't taking advantage of your peripheral vision. Instead, just start reading a little more inwards from the middle. Instead of starting from the first word, start from the 4th or 5th word. This way you're reading from the middle and you go faster and faster through the lines. You're taking advantage of your peripheral vision because you can still see the first few words on the right and the left quite easily with a little bit of practice. I didn't know about this until I did the UCAT, but after I started to implement it intentionally, my reading speed increased so much. The only thing with this is that I only really use it in exam situations when there's a lot of text to get through, because it is quite difficult at the end of the day to start from the middle every single line. Like it takes more energy than just starting from where I'm used to. But I'm sure I can get to a stage with practice that I can, comfortably do it when I'm studying normally. Use your fingertips. Our eyes don't continuously move when we read. Watch this. You can see that when I'm trying to move my eyes side to side, I'm trying to be smooth with it, but there's these rapid short movements that are happening instead called saccades. It's not continuous, it stops in between a lot. But if I follow my finger through the air, watch the difference. My eyes are making this continuous movement because I'm following a moving object. I hope you can see it. I don't know if my eyes are moving. So if you want to read faster, then pick up a book and follow your finger while you read, or follow your mouse cursor if your textbook is online. This way your eyes will smoothly follow the finger when you read without any interruptions. And it's said that apparently you increase your speed 10 to 15% by simply using a finger or a pointer anyways. And the biggest difference will come over time when you challenge yourself to move your finger faster, forcing yourself to read the words before you can even say them in your head. And again, the more often you do it, the better your brain will adapt. Building a foundation. You can only add furniture to the house once the ceiling, the floors, the structure is built, right? It's the same with learning information. Our brains need a foundation, and in my opinion, this is the most important tip to not only read faster, but to absorb and learn that information with that same speed. Rather than mindlessly rereading these hard sentences until they stick, if you give even a little time to building the foundation, the harder specific concepts will come more naturally to you and you will be able to learn them easily. Let's keep it simple. There's only 2 steps that you need to build the foundation before starting to read something. Make a proper list of all the important topics, all the high-yield concepts that you need to tackle first. And then before you dive straight into the textbook first, give some time into watching a video or reading some summary notes, anything that gives you a quick overview before you dive straight into the details. Do not go straight into reading the textbook. This will only slow you down. Take the time to skim, preview, and get that foundation in. Advanced speed reading. The one huge issue I had with the speed reading techniques was that I wanted to understand everything to 100% when I was reading it, and reading quickly didn't allow me to do that. But I realized that if I wanted to learn to process and understand information faster, then this is exactly the type of mindset that I had to let go of. If I was reading something till I got it 100%, then I'd never be able to read faster. I'd get stuck on something and then I'd go back, try and understand it, and then it would be the same cycle of trying to repeat the sentences that you don't get. So to help me with this, I started to do this one thing more and more over time. And I don't think this is something that naturally comes to you if you haven't spent time trying to get through a lot of information quickly. But while you read with your finger, without self-vocalization, try and imagine and visualize everything you read. I know trying to picture the things you're reading when you're trying to read fast as well is quite difficult, but creating that mental picture will allow you to understand and encode the information in your head a lot better. You'll be able to make connections between that image and your thought process. This is like a superpower. Getting into that flow state, trying to picture everything in your head as you read it will help you get through everything so much faster and understand it a lot better. And even if you don't understand it 100% at first, you have to trust that your eyes and brain are absorbing the information that you're looking at and will make connections by the end of it. The perfect flow state. One of the naturally fast ways to improve your reading speed is to get into the flow state. When everything else is blocked out, nothing is coming in your way, and you're just being propelled through the activity that you're doing. Because imagine it for yourself, once you're solely focusing on that one chapter, your reading speed and the rate at which you understand will improve itself. And it's easier to achieve than you think. I think most people just overthink it too much. They plan out the studying way too much, they pace themselves, do the full Pomodoro thing way too strictly. Like, none of that matters as long as you're getting the stuff done, right? So just sit down, get in the mood, and I really believe that you can achieve extreme levels of focus. If I do break it down though, then there are two main reasons that I can easily now slip into the flow state when I'm working. One is that the way I work is I get extremely passionate and curious about the thing that I'm working on, and when that happens, I throw myself into it completely, especially if there's novelty in it or if it's an interest of mine. And second, I think I manage my distractions quite well. Most of the time my phone's on airplane mode, I have music on, I'm in this quiet room at my desk, and in a few minutes, boom, I'm there. So leverage those strong levels of focus, leverage your interests, and your reading speed will improve naturally. But the thing is, even if you are reading efficiently, unless you're able to concentrate for long periods of time and put the work in, your efforts will always be watered down. So to help you with that, in this video, I go through the 5 main techniques that I use to condition and train myself to focus intensely when I study. Check it out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this has helped, and I'll see you in the next one.